Welcome to Empowered by AI, the podcast for women entrepreneurs ready to harness AI to take their businesses to the next level. I'm your host, Michelle Muncie Silva, founder of Innovative AI Studios. You may have left corporate life to start this entrepreneurial journey, but you don't have to go it alone. Here, you'll find a supportive community of like-minded women and an invaluable thought partner each week, as my guests and I share actionable insights you can use right away. So let's dive in together. Good morning, Jennifer Reedie. I would love to introduce you to our friends. Can you take a moment and just let everybody know a little bit about you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My career started on the ad agency side of things. So I'm a former ad agency creative. I advanced from designer to C-suite creative director. I worked at Publicis, Isobar, This Story. And from there, I moved to the client side. So I led in-house creative marketing teams, notably for fintech at Tangerine Bank, which was formerly ING Direct and Benchside. So that Benchside was a biotech company.
Mm.
Today, I'm working on my own for myself as a consultant, and I work with small and medium-sized companies and also the agencies that they work with. Basically, we're unlocking AI-powered brand strategy, creative identity design, creative content, and then I work with agencies direct as well on their team workflows. So making things move faster and getting teams collaborating better. Outside of that, I'm part of some groups as well. I think we're both part of She Is AI. And so I'm an ambassador for She Is AI and we champion women in tech. I'm also a collaborator with the global community of the AICC, which is the AI creative community. And I find lots of inspiration there. I'm a creative partner with Luma AI, and I give them feedback and on testing on their multimodal releases. And of course, I'm a mentor. So I'm a mentor with Soho House Creative Futures, as well as Women in Leadership Foundation. So I get a lot of enjoyment out of that.
Fantastic. And I know in your work, you've mentioned that embracing AI isn't just making a tech decision, right? You've actually put it in the category of a creative philosophy. How do
Mm.
you feel like women entrepreneurs can begin to integrate generative AI into that creative process?
Yeah. If you're just getting started with it, just start small. Pick one tool and get a feel for it. A lot of people start with ChatGPT. It is a conversational platform, so it is easier to grasp, the prompting and just getting started with it. You can treat it like another person, which sounds funny, but that's what it's based on is conversation. So you can get started with something small, drafting captions for your social media or asking it to do an outline for a pitch deck for you, something of that nature. So things that it can co-create with you and then you've got the topic of something that is very familiar to you. So that makes it easier as well. And ask good questions. Ask good questions as if you would be asking a teammate. And then when you find things are working, so the prompts that you're getting and you're getting back results that are beneficial to your end goal, keep a running list of those prompts and the responses, and you may be able to use this again and again in your work. So those are good things. And also when you are prompting, think about context. So let it know who you are, who your audience is, what the brand tone is that you're going for, and it will adjust and it will learn your style and the type of work that you do. So all of those things are helpful to get started.
And do you have a particular tool that you find yourself going to again and again that you think is friendly for most users?
ChatGPT definitely seems to be the gateway to AI.
It's the
Um,
gateway drug.
that's right. I hesitated to say that, but yeah. Yeah, just because it is very conversational. There are others in that sphere of using things for strategy sounding boards, research, outline. Perplexity is very good. Perplexity is conversational, but it's also a search engine. So it has quite a bit of power behind it. And Claude is really, I find Claude great. I find it a little more, it has more personality. It's more of an AI assistant, and it's also a conversational app.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those ones are good.
I agree. I've been following you on LinkedIn, and you had a post about sharing AI generated art, and you discussed the vulnerability of exposing creative experiments. And so
Yeah.
I'm wondering, how do you think business owners can maintain authenticity? Because that seems to be what everyone is really worried about, not wanting to put out generic content or content that all of a sudden doesn't sound anything like them.
Yeah.
How can business owners maintain that authenticity while utilizing some of the tools that you're talking about?
So my experience was as a creative leader, people expected certain things from me and a certain language showing certain kind of work. And at one point I switched, and I feel like the landscape today really allows for something kind of messy in a way, because AI is just getting going and its creative output is getting better and better every day, but people understand that it can be imperfect. So I would say jump in with that. And in the case of like conversational AI, you can get started with your emails, you can get started with your social posts, and it will adjust to all of the different types of situations. You can use your authentic voice. You can write your dad's birthday card. You can, so it's always editing is very important, and put things in your own words. And that's what makes it authentic. Think of these tools as a starting point to get your ideas going, and guide it towards your vision as well. Anything that you put out there should be meaningful to you, and that authenticity will come through, and create your own style, whether it's art or content. And so it comes down to, for a lot of entrepreneurs, personal brand.
I like to think of what I first get from AI as like the possibility starter. It's like you see it,
Mhm.
it's like it gets rid of that blank page, and then you
Yes,
see the possibilities, and it's, oh, I wouldn't say it like that, but that's a good direction. That
yes,
appetizer, main course of what I'm trying to do.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
And from your experience, how do you think, you mentioned messy earlier, that now we're allowed to be a little bit messy. How do you think AI has transformed the way brands develop their marketing strategies?
I think people are really using it a lot for getting involved in the research. I feel we're saving a lot of the human-led things, idea generation, a vision, just being, as we were saying, authentic to your own brand story as well. But letting AI dig into research, planning, reports, spreadsheets, finding the latest facts on an industry, that kind of thing, and just getting it to draft like simple customer profiles, for example. And then you can refine those things with all of the other research that you've done. So again, it's editing and using what is useful to you. And that way you can focus on the fun stuff to crafting the story, targeting the message, or that visual engagement that resonates with audiences and customers on that human level.
And what do you feel are some of those misconceptions or fears that you've encountered when you're mentoring and you're discussing AI in the creative industry? How do you
Mhm.
address those?
Yeah, so people are very afraid that AI will take their jobs. And the fact is, we need human creativity, emotional intelligence, all those soft skills more than ever. And I can see people losing their jobs if they don't adapt and embrace AI, much like we've done in the past with other technology, like Photoshop, for example, or when it comes to photography. It was a huge shift for photographers to move from film cameras to digital cameras. And if you ever had a DSLR camera, you know that it can take a week to get your images back from the photo mat. And if something goes wrong, you have to do an entire reshoot. So it's time and money for individuals and in a photo shoot situation. Then along came digital and we had instant access to these images and the controls were adjusted digitally instead of manually and in the moment. It saved a lot of time and energy and money really switching to digital. And then again, in that same area, Pierce would say Photoshop was manipulating the actual original shot that was taken. And the truth is that sometimes the settings are off and the image is too dark, for example, and Photoshop can fix that. So it can save the day. No reshoot. And AI is much like that. It is a helper. It is an assistant.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a collection. I'm looking up here because on the wall, I have those floating shelves and I have a collection of my grandfather's cameras because
Oh,
he would
nice.
collect different cameras. And it's so interesting to me that you say that because that transition, just looking at within our generation, the transition of film and into digital and moving into that instant access. Even at my own wedding, we had those little cameras, those little Kodak disposable cameras, right? At
Yes.
each of the tables so people could take photos. I have
Yeah.
100 photos of one family's brand new baby. I even know that it wasn't until we picked up the film, right?
Yeah.
That we even
Yeah.
realized that we had all of these photos, and it's such an apt, I think, analogy to bring up. It's like there was this way that we all just embraced during our lifetime of how we captured moments. And as that evolved, Kodak is a perfect example of somebody that or an institution, I should say, that was just cutting edge for their
Excuse
time. How did they let that slip? So, how do you advise businesses to navigate this balance between, yes, there is this human creativity, there is this side, but there is this very
Yeah.
real disruptor in AI and its capabilities?
Yeah. I think it's evolution to be able to adapt to new things. And AI is really here to stay in a lot of different industries and areas and other parts of our lives. And it's one of those things that we really need to embrace and adapt. Human experience, vision, imagination, all of these things are needed to guide AI, as I say, as an assistant to just execute those time consuming parts of the process and help us to accelerate our work. And I think when people realize that, they'll be more liable to get on board. I fully believe that humans need to remain the keepers of the creative ideas that connect us to other humans in relatable ways. And this is something that won't change. This is in marketing. This is how we build brand advocates, and we rely on people to gravitate towards our brands. We set ourselves up this way. We create aspirational connectivity, and those things make loyal customers. And AI is helpful to in the background to help us get through those other tasks so we can focus on that human element.
I love that phrase, aspirational creativity. That is beautiful. I love that. I love that. So, regarding future proofing, there's so much that is, and I love that you brought up messy, that intersection of AI and the creative industries. How do you think entrepreneurs can best not just look for trends, but stay ahead and ensure that their businesses is competitive in this marketplace?
Yeah, there are a number of ways. You can look at automating your workflows, list tasks that you and your team do, circle the ones that are quite repetitive or data heavy, things that take a long time. These are primary spots for AI to help you and your team. And learning one tool at a time, just pick an AI platform that fits the types of tasks that you need done and test them and see where you can save time and save money and
Mhm.
see if that's working for you. And also bring in the experts, bring in the pros, hire partners with people who are already AI on AI daily, and they'll help you to fast track your progress and teach best practices with AI. And of course, upskill yourself, take courses, experiment, and upskill your team as well.
And as a mentor in the Women in Leadership Mentor Program, you have an opportunity to help people see this. What advice do you give to these aspiring female leaders that you're mentoring to help them make their mark, if you will, in this AI
Right.
and creative space?
Yeah, now is the time for career advancement. No matter your age, your gender, if you have AI skills, you have an edge. And it's finding space in your work for AI and how it can help reshape what you're doing. So every role right now is looking for new, fresh AI perspective. It's in high demand. So if you can just pick one problem in your current work, so whether it's research or it's mock-ups, and experiment with AI tools that will help to speed it up. Small wins will help to build credibility in your organization, and share your experiments, share your prompts, the lessons you've learned within a community, and that will help to attract opportunities as well. Also pairing creative strengths. So if you look at storytelling, design thinking, these things that we do, pair them with that technical fluency, prompt engineering, data interpretation, blend your skills by bringing AI into the mix. And of course, bring other women into your projects, celebrate each other's wins, create and build a strong network as well.
Mhm. And regarding that, people are going to want to connect with you and talk with you more. Where can they find you?
My website is, I'm also on LinkedIn, and you can search my name. I'm on Instagram as well for my AI art. And so my handle is artfullyinspired.ai.
I love it. Thank you so much for giving us some of your time today. Your perspective and your experience is so valuable. I so appreciate you.
My pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
Thank you for tuning in to Empowered by AI. If today's episode sparked ideas, don't wait. Follow the link in the show notes to visit innovativeaistudio.com and download your free resource, created to help you put today's insights into practice. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes packed with more tips, tools, and inspiring stories. Until next time, stay empowered and keep innovating.